I got you on this one, Coach. It ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The fanatic. Where we keep it 100, keep it real. That's the only way we know how to be. Talking that sports talk. You know what I'm saying? Straight out of South Carolina. Upstate, A64. Yeah. The FANATTIC. The fanatic where we keep it OG. We talking sports, so I call what I see. I love the fans like they part of my team. I love the fans like they part of my team. Come rock with me. We got it jumping like it's that valley. I call my dogs out the pound, let's go eat. Turn on the fanatic, let's have a debate. Who really hold down the southeast from state to state? What team hungry gon' eat everything up off they plate? Who the next one that's really gon' step up and be great? Yeah, the FANATTIC. The fanatic where we keep it OG. We talking sports, so I call what I see. I love the fans like they part of my team. Yeah, part of my team. I love the fans like they part of my team. Part of my team. I love the fans like they part of my team. Yeah. Don't forget to smash that like button. Comment, subscribe, all that. The fanatic. Yeah.
Welcome into the Fanatic Sports Channel for sports fans by sports fans. It's your boy Coach I. Where are my dogs at?
What's happening?
All right. We back in here for another episode of the Fanatic Football Live, presented by the Johnson Development Group and the Tailgate Kings. We are down a couple of members. One, shout out to JV. It's his birthday today. He having some fun with the fam. Have a happy birthday, JB. All right,
brother.
We're missing
Happy
our
birthday
dog.
salute, brother.
Missing our dog, Stack Dog C, but I do got my other brother sitting in the house with me tonight. What's going on with you tonight, CA?
And I'm excited to be here. I missed the week last week. Had a personal bye week. Glad to be back in business, sitting in with you gentlemen, enjoying this time chatting about the dogs.
That's right. We had an off week last night. You got them hamstrings all fresh for the night. Rob, how you doing over there, dog?
Man, it is Florida week, man. I can't be more excited. You know, the Dogs, we're number one in the country, going into a big game, playing against our number one rival. I'm ready to see how it shakes out. I expect us to go out there and play well. We'll see what happens.
That's right. I'm definitely on the Gator hater bandwagon this week.
I'm definitely on it.
You know what I'm saying? Speaking of, how you doing down there, Thad? How you feeling this day?
Hey, man, still riding this wave, loving it. Happy to see the fellas back. Once again, I'm ready for another good week of debate. Let's get it.
That's right. And last but not least, man, we got my man Cool Cal. Cool Cal, you ready for this weekend? I know you ready for them Gators.
Absolutely ready for this game, man. Just want to give a shout out to CA, man. He looking good, man. Like the shirt and tie.
Hey, he gonna make us want to step our game up. We're gonna have to get Bulldog ties and everything.
Right. I mean, looking like Vince Dooley back in 77.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we're going to start off tonight. We're going to give out some mid-season grades for the offense and defense, and then we'll get into our Florida preview. So let's start out with the offense, and let's talk about the rushing offense. I'm going to start out with what I think. I think our rushing offense deserves a B at this point in the season because I think they've been doing good. They've been getting better week by week. We did start out kind of slow during the year. I think some of that was the cohesion on the line because we had some people playing positions that they didn't normally play. And then we had some injuries. I think it's getting better and better week by week. I think we still haven't had those breakout runs that we used to in the run game. So I think overall, I think a B is good for the rushing off part of the offense. What say you, Cal?
I'm kind of with you on that, D. You know, just basically because we haven't seen those explosive plays that we were used to seeing, maybe a 40, 50-yard touchdown type of run. But I think we've been definitely consistent across the board. We're able to plug out 4 or 5 yard runs. And I'm also able to see that it seems like we're able to get those short yardage gains. You know, if we need 1 or 2 yards, we got guys that can plow through the line. And I think those are big as well. You know, when we started getting into tighter ball games in the year, we have 4th and 1s, 3rd and 2s, I think we're able to produce and get those, which will be big as far as, consistently sustain the drives in the bigger games that we're going to have to come up against. So I'm with you. I'm with, a solid B, but just a couple more explosive runs, and I think we could take that grade up a little bit.
Definitely. Thad, you agreeing with that B grade, or what else? Are you seeing something different from the Rush offense at this point in the season?
Oh man, y'all know I'm the mean guy, but I'm giving us a C plus.
Okay, I can see that.
And the reason I give a C plus, I also got a little note by it, because part of it I think is just because of a little bit of a lack of opportunity, because the offense just don't get as many shots as a normal team would get, and also the top running back we have is ranked 17th in the league. So, I mean, gotta give him a C plus for that. We average 100. We average 192 yards a game. Once again, I think that's 7th in the SEC. So once again, that puts you in the middle of the pack. So I'm gonna give us a C plus.
Okay.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, we 7-0 right now. The offense is moving the ball when we need to move the ball, but like you say, we can definitely look for more improvement. That's actually saying a lot. We kind of middle of the road with the rushing, and we still, kind of do what we want to do on the field. What you thinking about that, CA?
Well, yeah, I pretty much agree with what everyone else is saying. I got a B minus. I am critical with the lack of explosion, the lack of explosive plays. But I'm also mindful of the fact that I feel like we might be preparing for something. We got a deep backfield. We got a lot of horses that can, make sure nobody gets worn out. And even though right now I think we're dealing with a little bit of the injury bug with Milton, the burden isn't so heavy on any one guy. And I think that bodes well for us moving forward in the season. True enough, a lot of opportunities still on the field. We got a lot of guys that can make plays, and we need them to make these plays. But I'm not going to be so harsh with the C. I definitely see what you're saying, though, Thad, because statistically it has been lackluster. It can be better, but I'll take it with the pieces that we got. As long as we can stay healthy, I think it can continue to get better, even though we've seen the production so far.
That's right. And coming into the season, man, we have, we 4-5 deep at running back. We like how everybody going to get touches. Now that depth is actually going to help us because, like you say, Milton is out with the MCL. McIntosh still dealing with a groin injury. And then, so it's good that we got these back. So what you thinking over there, E-Rod? You with us on the BC, or you think we should be higher than that?
I was thinking they should be a little bit higher to Thad throughout those great stats. And that made me kind of I had to reevaluate some things. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like they're probably, I'm 100% right there with Thad. You know what I'm saying? So okay. I feel what he's saying, but I'm going to go ahead and give him a B minus for this one reason. When we needed to run the ball, when we had to run the ball, when we kind of had to, get first downs and kind of end the game, we were able to do that. So that's a valuable commodity. We need to build on that and kind of add some big plays to it. But that's a good starting block for us, being able to run the ball when we need to run the ball.
Yeah, and that's key too, especially, we'll get to passing, but especially when Stetson is in the game. If our run game is doing what it's supposed to do, even though it ain't explosive, we get to keep him off balance, and he can use that play action, which he does so well up until this point. So
I think it's been most productive. I think it's been not to cut you off.
Oh, no.
I think it's been most productive in the second half. I think the second half running game has been far more impressive than what goes on in the first half, because we get a chance to lean on you, and all of a sudden the physicality starts to take its toll. So I do like what we do in the second half, especially to close out games with Zamir specifically, because that just it just adds punishment as the game goes on. But we can always be better.
True that. So with that said, the rushing game definitely helps out the passing game. I gave the passing game a B+ because I see that again, it's I think the passing has been a little bit better than the rushing, especially in the first half, like CA alluded to, with the rushing not being as great in the first half. But I definitely see some improvement. Some of that has to do with our wide receiver core being totally depleted. I mean, Ladd McConkey's been balling out, Brock Bowers been balling out, AD Mitchell, but a lot of these guys wasn't even expect to produce when we was first coming into the season because, you know, we had other guys. And I feel like once we get healthy, we'll be able to move into that A range. So what you thinking about that, Thad? Am I too high on the passing game?
I gave the passing game a B as well, believe it or not. And the only reason it's not higher because, once again, as I preference with the running game, it has a lot to do with opportunity. I just think a lot of the way that we're calling the game is predicated off of where we're playing defense, which we're playing awesome defense. So it's just not putting a lot of stress on the offense. So it's not due to their fault. But as we said about the running game, when the plays are called, we are dialing in the right number. So I gave them a B. I think that's pretty fair. Once again, I'm gonna throw some more stats out there. When you're talking about an offense, I'm gonna go to CA about this because we used to sit in meeting rooms, 20 some odd years ago. So I would imagine the numbers have changed a little. But CA, if you can remember, what would be a magic number for an offense that you want to scope in total offense?
You talking about yards or points?
Yardage.
Yardage. If you go
500 was magic. 400 was good.
I was just about to say 450 would be that like sweet
450 is right in there. You do
well, from when we played, it was 500 was the magic number. That's what you wanted in total offense. Okay. And I gave us a B because right now we're only averaging 430.
I got you.
But once again, that has something to do with lack of opportunities. We're having a short field. So that's why I gave them a B. And just based off statistics is why they don't get A.
Yeah, I definitely when considering this, I definitely forgot about how our defense does give us great field position. If you get the ball on your 40,
I think I mentioned that in a past episode.
Yeah, you did, and we only you can only get 60 yards even if you score every time getting the ball at the 40. So, Cool Cal, you on board with that, or because we both had that B mark, or do you think something different?
I think a little something different. I'm gonna be honest with you, fellas. I'm gonna go a little bit higher in the passing game because of this. I think that no matter the adversity that we've had this year, we've been able to overcome it. Coming into the season, we had, like we said, a completely different receiving core than what we thought we were gonna have now. And so I think that, and also our quarterback, we've had a different quarterback than what we thought we were gonna have. And I think with all those factors, I think that the coaching, and I know we're going to get more into coaching later, but the coaching, they have done a fantastic job of piecing this thing together. It may not be, the 500 yards statistically, we may not be out there throwing for 350 yards, but I think we're able to dictate and do whatever we want to do on that side of the ball as well. It's not as dominant as the defense, but I think when we need to go out there and pass, I think we go out there and we do it effectively and we score. And I think we're just doing enough to where I think that no matter what the adversity is, I think we're being able to overcome it. And that's all that I think that you can ask of us doing.
Okay. I can see that. E-Rob, you on board with that? Or are you down in that we need to improve with the B grade?
Well, for me, I agree with everything you guys have said. You pretty much hit on all the points, but I'm going to give them a B+. And the reason for that is the efficiency that we throw the ball with. We're pretty efficient throwing the ball. So, we're hitting chunks and we're, it's just efficient. We're not a lot of attempts, but the attempts that we do, we're hitting them at a high rate and, and they're chunk plays. So that matters. And then that complements the running game. So B+.
Okay.
I like the way you guys are reiterating exactly what I was saying.
CA, you got something to add to that?
I got a little bit, man. Man, it's good to hear your thoughts, each of you, about the passing game because you shed a lot of light on what my process was, but it don't change. I got us with a C- in the passing game.
Wow. Okay.
Because realistically,
this explanation, guys.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
Realistically, we've been inconsistent. We've had a lot of explosive plays that have come at important points, but I feel like that freshman tight end has masked a lot of what has been lacking on the perimeter. Burton is really my only explosive receiver that I had a chance to see something out of. Everybody else, a spot here, a spot there. I can't count on that. And I'm gonna judge this offensive passing game the same way I'm gonna judge that rushing attack. I'm scared to ask Thad where we at as far as the league is concerned. I'm hoping that's middle of the pack with the passing game because I don't think so. Well, I could be wrong, but it doesn't feel like a threat. It doesn't feel like when you walk into Athens, you're worried about what's going on with the passing game. You're pretty much worried about how can you score points and can you stop us running the ball. So I don't really feel, I don't have the excitement in the passing game. Yeah, I think Stetson's good enough to win. That's another discussion. But when you ask me about what I want to see from the Dogs throwing the ball, I don't get a lot of it. I see the plays being called. I don't see enough execution. So I don't even fault coaching. And I know we are supposed to, wait on that piece, but I'm looking at the execution. And when I see my guys, when I see the red and black on offense, the passing game is what scares me. It's, what's keeping us on the field and on schedule is because we got all these tight ends. And if you include them, and I'm not, to be honest with you, I'm not including the tight ends maybe as much as I should because it's primarily been one guy.
True.
So I don't even say it's the position. It's been one guy. So I need more. I need more consistency, especially completion percentage on the early downs. And we got to have that threat. When you ask me this question, I'm going to turn into Thad. It's going to come a point in time when we're going to have to do it.
And to your point,
CA.
Well,
there's a lot of injuries though.
I was gonna say to your point, CA, when teams are coming in to start the game, they're loading the box, which means they don't respect our pass. So that shows you that our passing game hasn't been doing what we want it to be doing. You know what I'm saying? Because if it was, then they wouldn't come in and load the box to start the game because they would be worried about it. But go ahead, throw it, Thad. You got some stats for us?
Well, I'm just gonna get a CA. He say he maybe didn't want to hear these stats. I just so happen to have them. Just to put things in perspective, the offense is averaging 237 yards a game passing. Our top receiver is ranked 13th in the league, which is a tight end. And the first receiver is ranked 24th in the league.
I think that's more speaks to the injuries though than because we haven't had a receiver play more than 2 or 3 games. You know what I'm saying? Like consistently.
I agree.
That's kind of CA's point. Right.
So that 250 something, Thad, where does that rank team wise?
No, it wasn't 250. It was 237.
Oh, 230. Yeah. I tried. I tried to throw a first down.
Let me ask you guys a question because obviously, scoring points is the most important thing out there. But what does this tell you? I'm just looking at a couple of stats. Florida is ranked 9th in the country in total yards a game. They averaging 501 yards a game. That's 9th in the country. They're 26th. They average 34 points a game. We average 430 yards a game, but we average 38 points a game. What does that tell you about our offense?
Well, some of that's predicated on the defense.
Well,
a lot of that's on. There you go.
I was about to say. I think like Thad was about to say. I think this is what you're gonna say. Like with our defense gives us the ball in better position.
Short field. Yep.
So Florida essentially has more chance to get more yards because they're starting at the 20, whereas we're starting at our 40. Also, Florida's defense isn't our defense. So, other teams can score quicker. And then that puts their offense back on the field quicker to get more opportunities. I don't know what the numbers are, but I'm assuming that our offense only gets about 7 series a game. I don't know, but Florida might get.
See, my point is, we're not really sure where they started, where we started, if we're being honest. We're not really sure about that. But I guess my point is, it's like when we do have the ball, we're going to score. We don't need a ton of possessions. You know what I'm saying? So those things alone would also contribute into not having the super gaudy stats because when we get the ball, we're efficient. We're starting out blowing teams out. So there's no need to continue to just pile on and to get yards and it just doesn't matter.
I can only speak for me, but I'm kind of with the college football playoff committee. I'd go by the eye test as well. Like I'm watching our offense, and even though we do score, like CA had said, like there's still been some plays. We get those big plays when we need them, like maybe 3rd and 12 or 30. Why are we even in 3rd and 12? That's one of my things, and it's like why can't we run the ball great in early downs? I mean, in early in the game, why does it take for them to get tired? Like we used to be able to run on people, whenever. So, I mean, it's nitpicking at this point because, like you say, Cal, we are scoring at a high clip. So, and at the end of the day, that's what matters, scoring points. But there will come a time, like we say, where we will have to march down the field from the 20. And I see some spots where we can, make some improvements. I don't know if that's how everybody else see it, but that's how I see it.
I got you.
We have driven the ball down the field this season, guys.
We
haven't gotten the ball at the 20-yard line every time, at the 30-yard line every time. That's not true.
We have. I just, like I say, I don't know why.
I think the problem is like we're waiting for someone to match up with us, and the problem is we haven't had anyone to match up with us.
Yeah,
that's the problem. That's what makes the unknown so scary, because we just haven't had anybody athletically, which is coming. Like, we keep talking about it, and that's what makes it so scary. So I think we mentioned this. Every team that we played, I recently looked at, has lost 2 or 3 games, except one team, that's Kentucky. Everybody else we played got 2 or 3 losses. So that can say a lot about the team that you're playing. We're not only beating, other teams are beating as well.
I can see that. I get what you're saying, E-Rob, man, but we're just trying to future cast these things. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, we keep like ruin the fact that some teams going to be physical. Maybe this is our year. Maybe we will be as dominant, more dominant than any other team that we play. There has been years where there have been teams like that. I've seen Bama teams like that. I've seen those teams where they're just better than everybody else.
Let me ask you this.
Our year.
Let me ask you this, E-Rob. When I'm talking about down the road, let me ask you this. So anybody on our schedule in the regular season, you've seen their offense at some point this year. You've seen Missouri, you've seen Tennessee, whoever, Florida. Do any of those offenses, just looking at it, do you think any of those offenses as good as Ohio State offense?
No.
See, that's the only reason why I say this, because down the line, I don't feel like Ohio State gonna put up 40 on our defense. I just don't see that happening. But nobody's put up over 14. I do feel like Ohio State got the talent and the coaching to put up 24. And one thing I did hear this today on First Take, it was College Football Live. We've controlled the game in every game. Like, we've only played from behind 11 plays all season. So we need that offense to be sharper if we go down 10-3 to Ohio State. I guess that's what we're coming from. You see
right, but a couple of things I've seen with our offense, when we do need to go score, when we do need to go match their score, the team has just scored on us. That next drive, when we get the ball, we usually answer that. And that's huge when we talk about momentum, and then you put that defense back out there to flip everything. But when they needed to score and we need to come out, it was 3-3, I think, against Kentucky. When we need to come out after halftime and score, we went right down there and scored. We needed that. That changed everything. That was a needed drive, and we got it against a good defense. What y'all saying we can't do when we needed it?
Why? I ain't saying we can't do it. I say I ain't.
No. I'm just hey, y'all saying stuff. I'm saying stuff.
Honestly, maybe that's that year where we just don't have to see it. I think, as E-Rob's point, we just may not see it this year because we're actually adding in what we think we may have to overcome. We don't know if we're going to have to overcome that at all.
I guess I haven't personally seen any team, dominant or not have to deal with some of that. Like I said, I've pointed out before, the LSU in 2019, they had adversity that they was able to overcome. So it wasn't like they just ran through everybody. They didn't do everybody like they did us in the SEC championship. And when they played Bama and they played Auburn, it was a back and forth. So they was put in situations that they hadn't been in all year. That's what we're saying. So
that's the point, Coach. It's not about team necessarily. It's not necessarily about us being better than the next. Everybody we play on paper, we're probably going to be better on paper. It's about matchups. At some point in time, we're going to run up with teams that we're going to match up with very well, just from an athletic standpoint. They ain't going to necessarily have so much to do with the X's and O's.
Yeah. I'm with that, man. And with that said, let's move on to blocking. So when I looked at blocking, I looked at pass blocking, I looked at run blocking. And when I say run blocking, that's looking at the offensive line and the wide receivers on the outside. I gave us a B, but I don't know. I might, because of Thad and them stats with the running game, I might need to drop that to a C.
But it's not a negative though, guys.
It's not.
It's based off the opportunity. I said it's based off the opportunities and the way we play defense. You know what I mean? I'm not just knocking it. I'm just
pass blocking.
Realistic score.
Yeah, pass blocking. I feel has been great because I think we've only given up like 4 sacks all year, if that. And I can't even blame all that on the line. Some of that might have been on the quarterback holding the ball too long. Run blocking, even when we need to run, we ain't been open up. We opened up some holes here and there, but we ain't been like blowing them off the ball, like creating a new line of scrimmage like we normally do. You know what I'm saying? And then on the outside, just depends on what wide receiver in the game, depending on if we get good wide receiver blocking or not. So with that said, I'm gonna give him an overall B. I'm gonna give him a B, and I'm gonna go to CA because I know CA be paying attention to them wide receivers out there on the edge blocking. So overall, CA taking into consideration run blocking, pass blocking, wide receiver blocking. What you thinking on that blocking aspect?
Overall, I give it a B minus. I think that's, and I'm struggling to do that because I think it's heavily based on the offensive line's production. I haven't been 100% pleased, but I know we've had a rotation of guys. And I think at this point, we've gotten that rotation maybe a little bit more settled. But we've had some guys in flux, and we've had an injury here and there. And I think they've responded well with having to change positions in a couple of different spots, getting solidified at that guard spot. And again, dealing with the injuries we've dealt with. I think the line has done a great job, especially in pass protection. I think that's A+. I think the run game needs to be better. You know, so when I look at that combo grade, you know, I got my line with an A- grade overall, but my perimeter blocking it's hit or miss again, and that's primarily because of inconsistency with playing time. And I think going back to what Thad said, you know, having a lack of opportunities. You know, we really are efficient, whether we like how the offense is constructed or not. We've done a great job scoring it, which is the end result. So, you know, we may not have received enough opportunities to see how these, you know, kids can really perform in a passing game, especially, you know, with the blocking I'm looking for. Downfield blocking has been pretty good, but I'm really looking at the line of scrimmage. I'm looking at us winning those battles when we're trying to throw the screens to the other wide receiver or to our tight end or to my running back. So I see a lot to be desired. I need more opportunities. You know, I'm sure that will come down the line, but overall, I gave it a B- in blocking, but I need more from the perimeter. That's a C for my guys. I'm always going to be tough on the wideouts.
Yeah. What say you, E-Rob? We being too hard on them, or what you got?
No, I think you guys are spot on. In terms of like our internal, the offensive line, the tight ends, I think that group is I think that they're gelling and getting better each week. Like I said, we've had a lot of injuries, shuffling people around, and I think they continue to get better. So with that group, I give them probably a B+ because I think they've been solid, not as consistent as I would like to see in the run game. We've all kind of touched on that. But the receivers, I think you guys are being way too nice. I think that, you know, for what we're trying to do and what we're trying to execute on the outside, that's an extension of our running game. You know, we essentially that's Kirby's DNA to run the ball. That's an extension of the running game. We got it. That has to get better. That is really, it's almost embarrassing because, you know, you're just getting blown up out there. So that right there to me is like a C- a D because I've watched too many times. That's putting us behind the sticks. You asked why are we 3rd and 12? You asked that, right, Coach?
Yep.
There you go. You know what I'm saying?
That's
supposed to be a simple play.
We've definitely missed some assignments, especially on those screens that CA was alluding to. I mean, that started in the Clemson game, and it's like a hit or miss. You just don't know, and it's like sometimes I go back and watch the replay. I'm like, bro, you ain't even getting no effort, dog.
You ain't even trying.
Yeah. So Cal, what you got? You got something different than what we already done said?
I don't have a lot different besides what E-Rob says. I think he was spot on. I'm in that C range, maybe a C+ as far as the overall blocking. As far as the offensive line, I am pleased with the pass blocking. I do think we're doing a very good job. I see a lot of open areas and lanes for us to throw in. But the run blocking, we're not as physical as we've been in the past. And maybe some of that is youth. Maybe we're not as good on the offensive line. But overall, we don't have that physicality. I think you said it earlier, Coach, about as far as creating a different line of scrimmage and having the backs be able to maybe hit 4 or 5 yards, get some steam before they're getting hit. You know, a lot of times they're getting hit 2 yards, 3 yards, and they're having to break tackles, and it's only being 4 and 5 yard runs versus in the past we would make those 20, 25, 30-yard runs. So I think we need to get a little bit more physical in the interior offensive line, and we got to stop missing assignments on the outside. When we have those plays there, we got to have the guys do the job.
That's true. All right, Thad, give us the real.
Well, I'm going to say this, guys. You know, once again, you guys, you know, you play both sides of the court. You got to understand just to Erob's point and Calvin, what you were just speaking about. I can understand you giving the receivers a C, but remember, guys, we're down our top 4 pass catchers.
They weren't blocking either. They weren't blocking
a lot of well, we haven't seen them. We haven't seen them. They haven't played. They've been hurt.
Well, CA did come on after the Clemson game, and he was definitely not pleased with Jermaine Burton's blocking ability after the Clemson game.
my whole point, you talking about one game. We in game 6 or 7. They've been hurt. Right. The top 4 pass catchers have been hurt. So we're playing with a bunch of young guys. In my opinion, that would be more expected. Now, if we was playing with that veteran group, I would totally understand. The next point, guys, I just want to bring this point out. With the blocking, so I think CA said this, I think the interior line has been awesome. Well, we have to remember, guys, we don't have Sony and Chubb back there. Those are arguably 2 of the best backs in Georgia history. So a lot of these runs that these guys are getting 4 and 5, maybe 7 yards, Chubb and Sony could be breaking for much bigger runs. They were just better backs. Nothing to take away from the guys we have now, but they're not those guys. So you got to keep that in context too.
Well, I definitely agree with you. We definitely don't have Sony or Chubb or Swift, you know what I'm saying, for that matter, because he was a dog too. Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying, sometimes even when they make contact on the outside and get a block, you'll see James Cook run up by him, and then it's like they release the block. Whereas when Sony and Chubb was here, we had like Jeremiah Holloman, we had Riley Ridley. Like you see them 40, 50 yards down the field, like just pummeling they dudes,
dogging them out.
Yeah, like that's what I'm grading them off of. Not whether
that may still go back to the same point that maybe they're just not as talented players.
Well, we talk
that doesn't matter.
Blocking ain't talent. We talk about
that. Want to. That's want to. Do you want to do it?
Because they're young. That ain't fair.
So y'all saying a lack of effort. Y'all saying a lack of effort.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying?
Yeah. Okay. Blocking.
Production. Yeah. We don't
and
classification is. It's about production.
And Thad, totally with you. These are probably, you know, as far as running backs and talent, this is probably maybe the least talented group that we've had in a while. But as far as the interior alignment, we don't have those guys that we've had as far as that physicality. I forgot. The
guy from last year.
But you're going back to my point. Don't say we don't have the guys, because it's not about the talent level. Y'all say it's the lack of effort.
I'm talking about
I never said it was effort. I said these guys are not as physical. That's what I said. Well, we don't have that same physicality that we've had in the past. The guard that we just had, it slips my mind. He had
Ben Cleveland.
We had Ben Cleveland, but it was the other guy who had the dreads.
Isaiah Wilson, big boy.
I wasn't even thinking of him. It was a guard that I'm thinking about. He was an interior player. But
I know
you know what I'm talking about. But what I'm saying is 66. Those guys were a lot more physical than what I'm saying that we have now. They created a different line of scrimmage, and that's not what I'm seeing that we have now.
Well, see, when we did, let me clarify.
I didn't say effort. I never said effort.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Effort, we were talking about the receivers.
Yeah,
we're talking about specifically the receivers with the effort.
Yeah, Cal is speaking of the line. We was talking about effort with the receivers because you said that we were down our 3 or 4 top receivers.
That should matter for blocking.
I remember on one of the early shows, I don't remember which one, we said when it come to blocking, it's about effort. It ain't got nothing to do with talent. It's about want tos. And listen,
I'm gonna tell you what, CA is about 2-3 classes in front of me. I'm gonna tell you what, ain't no way in the ATW hockey sticks, me coming in as a freshman, finna hold the end like CA is as a third-year player. He don't been
when you came on the field, the expectations didn't change. It didn't matter. Didn't nobody care about your play.
I'm not talking about the expect. I'm talking about with the product that you're getting on the field is what I'm saying. The product that you're gonna
evaluate
3 years and 3, huh?
Now we're evaluating who's out there. They're not getting it done. It ain't enough.
That's my point. I'm saying we're having younger freshmen out there. You can see a drop off in things like that because they don't have the experience that the guys who already got 3-4 years of experience doing. These guys haven't done it before.
We don't want to hear that. Now you want to hear. Now you want to hear that. Now you want to hear stuff.
Go ahead, CA.
I'll just put it out there.
I'm just messing.
We know that. We all know that and don't care. Like that ain't even a relevant point. Like my question is, why do you critique our answers instead of giving an answer? Like stop critiquing what we say and just give your answer.
Listen,
we don't care about what you think about.
Y'all know I'm Mr. I don't care. I finally try to throw us some bones and
Nah, don't throw no bones.
Y'all jumping on me. I always keep it 100.
All right, your opinion. Be 100 on your opinion. That's what we want to hear.
Oh,
yeah, always. Always.
So overall, all right. So the coaching and play calling, I think, has definitely been an A. You know what I'm saying? I think Todd Monken has done a great job considering all that we have said with the quarterback situation, with the injuries, the young freshmen on the outside, the moving pieces on the offensive line. I think he's to be credited for a lot of this efficiency that we talk about. That's in my personal opinion, because I mean, you got to call plays for the people you got on the field. So, all right, Thad, I'm gonna go to you next, man, on the coaching and the play calling overall.
Once again, I will give them credit. I mean, with the way that we play in offense, we don't really have to open up the bag just because the way our defense is. So, what they're calling, I give them credit for it. Like I say, we don't have to go in the bag, and whatever they are calling, we are, doing it at a high clip, at a very high efficiency rate. To my opinion, once again, I haven't seen us be tested on offense, so I really don't know what we look like under fire. But from what we have seen, I'm gonna give him an A for what he's done. He's done exactly what we need to do.
Okay. All right, cool. Cal, you agree with that, or you got a little bit more to put on that?
Just a little bit more. I'm with you though. They Monken, Kirby, I think they've done a fantastic job play calling. A+ for me. Biggest reason is we've been missing our starting quarterback, center, top receivers, tight ends. We're still getting it done. We got to give somebody some credit for coaching the guys up, the young guys, getting them in there and being able to be ready to play on Saturday. So I'm with you. I'm A+ on that.
All right. E-Rob?
I mean, I totally 100% agree with what Cal just said on the offensive side. Todd Monken deserves all the credit that you can possibly give an offensive coordinator. Just dealing with what we're dealing with. We're supposed to have a so-called Heisman type quarterback. He doesn't have that. He's dealing with, as fast a damn walk-on. So, you know what I'm saying? And with that, we've been able to go up and down the field and be efficient. And that's what, with a defense like this, that's the only word that should matter when we talk about offense. Our offense is being efficient. If we are that, we're gonna be a problem. Ohio State, anybody, they're gonna have a problem if we're efficient. Now,
don't get ahead of yourself, folks.
On the defensive side of the ball, of course, we're the number one defense.
Well, we ain't got your defense yet, E-Rob. Calm down.
My bad.
Go ahead, CA. Go ahead, CA.
I'm glad E-Rod went first because I was gonna give a grade for everybody. Okay, this is just offense.
Yeah, just offensive play calling.
Exactly.
My bad.
Offensive play
I want to listen.
I do. Me either. I give it an A. I really appreciate what Todd Monken has done to be creative with the pieces he's been dealt, and that's it. I give it an A+. No complaints. Working with the pieces he got and trying to exploit other teams with those guys. I like it.
Okay, so with all of what we done said on offense, man, I think overall our offense deserves about a B, considering the A's and the C's and the 1D. Somebody else keep giving the wide. E-Rob giving the wide receivers almost a D. So, but let's move on to defense, which should be a little bit easier, but we never know. With the rush D, I guess at this point, man, instead of going into a whole bunch, I got him as an A+, man. I mean, if you don't agree, that's fine, and then we'll let you get your point. Who doesn't agree with the rush D being an A+?
I don't know what more you want.
Should be cricket. Okay,
All right,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, they're gonna be an easy one, coach.
Yeah. And then I got sacks. I got an A+. I know we lead the SEC in sacks. I think we like top 10 in the country in sacks. We got like 24, 25. So, I mean, they getting after the passer. I think we averaging like 3 or 4 a game. So I got the sacks at an A+. Anybody got anything different for sacks?
Crickets.
I really like the pressure at the middle, but no.
Okay. All right. Now the pass defense. I gave the pass defense a B+. I'm giving them I'm giving them a B+ because they have been doing good, but there's been some times where I see the opposite team getting shots. They just been dropping the ball, and it wasn't because we was there knocking the ball out their hand. So that's why I'm giving the pass defense. Of course, our guys with the sacks are getting after them, but when they don't get after them, I actually rewatched the Kentucky game last night. And there was definitely some opportunities when they was actually, holding up for Will Levis in the passing game, and
Auburn game too.
So with the passing defense, I'm gonna give them a B+. What you got, Cool Cal?
I'm gonna go a B on that as well. Just for the things that we just mentioned, there's some opportunities. I think in the South Carolina game as well, there were some opportunities that they missed as well. And those are some definitely things that we would have to clean up. And also, the turnovers, just getting more turnovers. I think we could be a little bit better as maybe creating a few more interceptions, maybe getting couple more forced fumbles, something of that nature. But, I'm going to just go with a B on that.
All right. CA?
I think I'm gonna step outside of the box, man. I like what's going on in the secondary. I'm gonna give it an A-. I think they've outperformed their pay grade. These cornerbacks came into the season really unproven, and they haven't seen a full blitz of an offense, but they've handled what's been in front of them. I've seen the drops, and I know we're not perfect, but I feel like we get better every week.
Okay.
We've lost some pieces there, and the coaching has showed up. I think one of the things I wanted to mention on both sides of the ball was just the depth is really prevalent. Guys are coming in and out of the rotation. I think especially when I look at the secondary, losing the Tyke, having the rotation at corner, having Chris Smith go down for a temporary amount of time. I think it's just showing that the coaching is there. But I really feel like secondary has performed with what's been in front of them. I give them an A-.
Okay. E-Rob, you played the position, man. What you think about that pass defense?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. I'm gonna give them a B. I think that they've been solid. There have been some opportunities that other teams just haven't been able to get to. Same thing everybody else has been saying. Same thing CA said, though. I am very confident that it looks like they're getting better every week. And we just need to be at our peak at the end of the season. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think that we're building towards that. So I'm gonna give them a solid B.
All right, put the final touches on it, Thad.
I'm gonna give them a B as well, and I hope this doesn't sound confusing. I'm glad they have a B because I don't want them to have an opportunity to have an A. I like exactly what they're doing right now. I like getting folks 3 plays, 4 plays, and getting them up out of there. I don't even want them to have to be tested like this. I like what I see right now. So the only reason they get a B is because somewhere like the offense, a lack of opportunity is why they can't get an A. And for this particular reason, I'm happy for the lack of opportunity.
With that said, I'm with you, Thad. I hope we never get to see them grade out fully. All right. So with that, man, with the turnovers, I don't know, man. I got turnovers as a C, man. We're only +3 in the turnover margin. I know that some of that has to do with the offense and whether or not we throw an interception, which we haven't thrown a lot of those, but we don't create a lot of turnovers. We do get them off the field, and that could be because of a lack of opportunity. Yeah.
That's why.
But we don't get. Hey, man, I'm nitpicking. Listen,
We nitpicking, yeah.
because this is what I'm gonna say, man. Like, I didn't play in college, but I played in high school, and at your position, you get graded regardless of whether you win 50-0 or you lose 50-0. You get graded, so we gotta grade them, and they not getting turnovers. Let's just say that. So that goes back to like what you said about the youth. Like, when you was a young receiver, didn't you go back in film study and didn't you get graded regardless of how old?
Yeah, no doubt.
That's what I'm saying.
So this is what I would say. This goes to something that he's not on here. I hate to speak for him, but I think for the guys in the group, they know what we kind of talk about. As an example, Deion Sanders is arguably considered the greatest cornerback. Well, the greatest cornerback, in my opinion, in the NFL. So not changing topic, just trying to prove a point.
Yeah.
But we have a guy, Stat Dawg C. One of the reasons why he say Rod Woodson is better is because he has more interceptions. But Deion just didn't get thrown at like that. So that's one of the knocks that Deion has, is he don't have a lot of interceptions because he didn't get the opportunity. It was the reason why.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay. What say you, E-Rob? What about them turnovers?
No, I'm right there with you, Coach. I see. That's the only blemish on this defense. We don't get the ball. We don't take the ball away enough. So that's something we need to work on. I mean, and I think it's a good thing. Like this one, like what Thad just said, I'm kind of happy we ain't there. It gives us something to focus on. You ain't a finished product. You guys aren't the best in the world. You ain't getting turnovers. You know what I'm saying? So something for the coaches to build on. Keep them focused. Keep them engaged. Well, y'all good at this. Well, do this too then. Be the best ever. Let's go.
That. What about you, CA? What you got to add to that, man?
You know, you're right. We're nitpicking. We can definitely be better on the turnovers, but when I look at that conversation, I look at how many snaps the opponent rarely has on our side of the 50. And anytime they're punting that ball, that's almost a turnover in itself. They can't even get across. So I know we're nitpicking, but just on the 3 and out, it feels like a turnover. It happens so many times consistently. Those feel like turnovers, short porches and all that we get. It feels like we get a turnover. We just start on the 40.
I can see that. I definitely can see that because we definitely get a lot. We get a lot of 3 and outs. So what you say, Cool Cal? Wrap that thing up on them turnovers, man.
I'll wrap it up. I'm in the same place as far as the turnovers, but one other thing that is starting to concern me, though, I don't know if we looked at in the Kentucky game. Kentucky had the ball a lot. They converted a lot of third downs. And so there were some opportunities there to where they were throwing the ball and they were getting the 3rd and 3s, the 3rd and 4s, and we weren't, getting turnovers or even getting off the field at times in that game. So I think that that's something that we're going to have to be worried of as well going to the future. How long is our defense staying on the field?
I can see that.
And I think turnovers would help that.
Okay. And then, coaching, I don't know how. I'm not going to say Dan Lanning ain't coaching. I'm just saying Dan Lanning is a good defensive coach, but I don't know how much credit. This is one I struggle with. I don't know how much credit to give to him or how much
he got credit. The title, D. So he got the title. So you got to give it.
Right. Okay, I'm going to give him the
title. He wear the hat, bro. He wear the hat.
Listen, after the last game, they asked Kirby about some of the plays. He said, I don't know how much of it is coaching or how much of it is we just got better guys. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm going to give Dan Lanning an A. I'm going to give him an A because the defense has been out there and they've been lights out. And he does pull the strings on the defense, so to say.
Got to coach him up.
That's right. Yep. You're right. Anybody disagree with Dan Lanning getting an A on that? Okay, we got E-Rob. Give to him, E-Rob.
Yeah, I totally disagree with what you just said, Coach. Totally disagree. I hate to do this to you. America, Dan Lanning does not deserve an A. He deserves an A+. We the number 1 defense in the country. We giving up 5 points. Dang, are you kidding me?
I'm with you on that, E. I'm with you on that, E.
Bump him up to the A+.
Touchdown a game, E. I'm with you, E. We're not even giving up a touchdown.
you cannot discount this. We keep talking about all of this talent, and we got like 9 or 10 5-stars on that, just on the defense. So that talent, getting all of that talent to stay motivated, keep their eyes in the right place, and go out there and potential is one thing, but if you don't realize that potential, who cares? And they're doing that. Right. They're realizing they're getting these boys to be great.
True that. And I want to give a shout out to Coach Scott on that D-line, man. The recruiting for the D-line has been ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? And then coaching the boys up, as y'all would say, because you still got to coach these dudes on technique and stuff like that. But that's been ridiculous, and it's just continued to flow there in Athens. So, hey, man, like I say, we nitpick. We 7-0, but we always have to try to find the cracks that may show themselves later on. So, anybody else got anything to add to the coaching, whether it be defense or offense?
I think hope we could put.
Go ahead, Tay.
Go ahead, Kurt. Go ahead.
Just to kind of piggyback off what you guys were saying earlier, but I hope we can put just as much effort in developing our offensive skill players, just like we do our defensive skill players. I'm with that too.
All right, so moving on along, it is Gator Hater Week. We got the Gators coming up on Saturday. We are a 14. I think we started the week off at 14. I think it's 14.5 now point favorites. We're 5-2 against the spread, just in case anybody out there is watching and wanted to know. We didn't cover against South Carolina, and we didn't cover against Auburn, I think. Kentucky. My bad.
Kentucky.
You're right.
Kentucky dudes. Yeah.
I think you're right. Yeah, Kentucky. So I'm gonna let Cool Cal start this off, man. What's your thoughts on this upcoming weekend, man? Is it a hey, one of these things where they say, well, man, it's a rivalry, it's always a good game, or is it one of these things where the Dogs have turned the corner, man, and we just gonna go in there and do them like we did the rest of the people, regardless of what's on the front of their jersey?
I'm with that last point you just made, but for me, this payback, man. I thought they embarrassed us last year. They put up 45. Going into that game, we thought we had a pretty good defense. We thought, Stetson, if he could play efficient, that word we used, we could get out of there with a win. I remember in that game, they just went up and down the field. I remember Jack Saint got hurt on a really bad injury. I'm hoping that he's able to come back and be able to play in this game. I think it would mean a lot for the young kid to be able to come back. But I'm just like, man, I know it's Florida. It's a rivalry game. I think it's time. We had a bye week. It's time to go out there and put it on them. Let's go out there and show we're the number one team in the country. Let's go out there. Let's get the receivers more involved. Let's get this rushing attack amped up a little bit more. Let's go out there and shut them down, man. Let's go out there with a big victory.
All right. Early on in the season, Thad, you did mention that mobile quarterbacks help a rushing game, which it does, and it could present problems if you play a lot of man. To that, we have mixed it up this year a little bit more than we normally do, man and zone. How are you feeling about that? Because apparently Anthony Richardson is going to play, half the snaps. Emory Jones, I don't know. What you feeling about that, though?
I'm hoping Mullen don't figure out that 15 is better than 5, but it sounds like he may have figured this out. What is interesting to me is that, throughout this rivalry, anybody can chime in if they want to. I can't remember we going to a game playing Florida with 3 losses. So facing a Florida team with this many losses and us being the number one team, I mean, you would have a lot of optimism. You would like to think that we're going to go in and drag them like we've done everybody else. But I'm just going to be honest with you. It's still Florida. And I'm going to go back to what I said earlier, styles make matchups. And I just think they're one of the teams that match up better with us than anybody else.
Okay. I can go with that. And I don't think we have gone into the cocktail party where Florida had 3 losses. Some of them teams might have had 3 losses afterwards because Florida State was a little bit better back then at the end of the season. If we had to look at a team
going into the game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I said. I said I agree with that. I was like, we're looking at the history. I think Ron Zook Florida teams probably were the worst Florida teams, you know what I'm saying? And they even beat us one year. So E-Rob, what you thinking about that show? Hey man, it's the crib, man. What you thinking about it? I know how you feel. I know you want to get in there and beat them like we beat them in 2017. Do you think that's gonna happen this Saturday?
So yeah, I'm from Florida, and I can't stand the Gators. I mean, I can't stand. I hate them. I hate them with a passion. So I just want to let me be very clear about that right off the bat. Now, this game, I don't think Florida's that good. I personally don't think that they're good. I think that they're ready to tap out.
Okay.
I think Cal said it. This is a revenge game. These boys will be focused on this game. All the receivers will be back. This game will be as healthy as we've been in 3 or 4. 14 points ain't enough. We're going to smash them. They're going to get smashed. You heard it here first.
Okay. All right. CA, what you got, man? What you got?
And I think I'm a little closer to what Thad has to say. You know, I'm from Georgia. I never discount Florida. I may call it star or whatever you want to call it. You know, I feel like what Thad mentioned earlier, they always will have an opportunity to match up with us to a man as far as talent is concerned. I know we've out-recruited them, but when you look in the eyes of your rival, it don't always scare you, regardless of what the ranking is. And I remember a long time ago flipping a 20-point spread on Florida when they were, you know, the 20-point favorite. You know, so we came out 37-17, exactly. You know, on a great day for the Dogs, that was extremely unexpected. So I want to make sure the guys in Red and Black understand that. But we got to handle that business so early. It needs to happen from the first snap because they're going to come in ready to play. It's a game in the state of Florida, even though it's a rivalry game, you know, the historic matchup. Our alumni base is right next door, not too far away. I don't take it lightly. I'm not looking past Florida. I never will. It's always an important game. Now, in the end, I feel like the score is going to represent what Erik said, but I'm going to walk into it the way Thad walked into it. I'm looking at them like they number one, and I want to beat them like it's brand new to me.
And
at the end, we're gonna beat them pretty good, is what you're saying.
Yes, sir.
I think to what you said, CA, I think this year, Kirby, it seems that Kirby has their mindset like that. Like they're not overlooking anybody. Like, I mean, we played Vandy as if Vandy had the Ohio State offense or something. Like they came out from play one, UAB play one, South Carolina, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think we've done that. And I haven't hidden my disdain for the Gators or Mullen down there in Jacksonville. I don't respect Mullen. He's not a good human being. I want to beat him down.
He ain't the problem.
He ain't the problem. Well,
that defensive coordinator.
Hey, and I listen, it's like Kirby has been, I don't know, Kirby has been the coach, the person that put people on the hot seat, if not get them fired. He got Paul Johnson fired. He got Gus Malzahn fired. He got our boy Will Muschamp fired, even though he back at Athens now. I feel like Kirby gonna go down there and put the nail in the coffin on at least Ty Grantham. I don't know if they're gonna get rid of Mullen, but I think he's gonna put the nail in the coffin for Ty Grantham. I don't know if
he already out the door, man.
I don't think I think he's just gonna hammer it on in. You know what I'm saying? I think Anthony Richardson is good. Definitely better than Emory Jones, but Mullen is definitely gonna play both of them, which I think is the mistake. Because the one game that he didn't play Anthony Richardson was against Alabama, and Emory Jones had the best game of his career because he didn't have to look over his shoulder. I think that's been hindering both of the quarterbacks, even though Anthony's been more efficient. So I don't think it's going to matter if he puts both of them in. I think they'll give us a good first quarter because it's hyped up. And like CA said, they look across the field, they see that red and black, they hate us like we hate them. But at the end, man, I'm thinking like 38-14, man. I mean, I really don't see them outlasting us. So that's what let's get some score predictions on that note. I'm going with 38-14. E-Rob, what you going with?
Give me 41-13.
I like it. What you got, Dad?
28-10.
Okay. I still take that 18-point lead.
Yep.
What you got, Cool Cal?
I'm going 30-14.
30-14. Okay. Almost just
34-10.
Oh, 34-10. Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. So we all what about you, CA? What you got?
Yeah, I stole some of my luster. I'm going 38-10. I think it's going to get uglier and uglier as the game goes
on. I like it. I like it.
They're going to just tap out on defense. They will just tap out.
you said Todd Grantham ain't going to make it back to the office. He's like, you know what, dog? We'll send you your stuff in the mail.
Todd Grantham defense is a perfect example of when you give a team opportunities and they make them against you. I mean, he leave people uncovered, wide open. I mean, it's always been like that, even when he was here.
He was here, exactly.
Yes, and that's where the term third and Grantham came from, because you go third down. He is gonna send everybody and leave, like you said, leaving people wide open.
In the middle of the field. They running right down the middle of the field, wide open. How was that? That's not sound defense.
Hey, he did it, like y'all said, he did it in Athens. He's doing it in down there in Florida. He did it in Louisville when my nephew played for him.
How you keep getting these contracts?
Hey, E, that's the amazing thing. Everywhere he goes, the first 2 years, the defense gets dramatically better.
But this is what I told my nephew when he was playing. When they announced that he was coming, I said, look, when Todd Grantham is coaching other people's players, I feel like Todd Grantham is a smart dude. But when he's coaching other people's players, he does well. He can't recruit guys to his system for some reason. They be athletes now, don't get it wrong. But after he done had 1 or 2 cycles, it just falls all the way off. I'm like, bro, I don't know if you can't pay attention to the guys that you had, because when he first got to Georgia, our defense got better in the first 2 cycles. Then it went downhill. He got to Louisville, first 2 cycles. It got good, then it went downhill. Same thing in Florida. It's like, bro, I don't know if
he had the number 1 defense at Mississippi State when he went down.
It's like,
they had the number 1 defense 1 year.
It's like a catch-22. He gonna be on his way out the door, but it's like I'd love for you to keep Todd Grantham around down there so we can keep scoring on. All right, man. Let's talk about these picks. We have a new leader in the clubhouse with the picks. All right, let me get my picks pulled up, man, so I can get everything.
I don't know how I'm
what's up, Cat? You done fell off?
No, man. I just want to make it a little more interesting. It was boring at the top.
Oh, it was boring at the top. Okay,
it was boring at the top.
Last week, most of us was on the same page. Everybody was 4-2 except for 2 people, and I got to get this pulled up to get those 2 people. The other 2 people was 2-4. JV was one of the guys. He's not here tonight, but JV was one of the guys that was 2-4 last week. Here we go, the picks. All right, so last week, actually, I'm sorry. Everybody was 4-2 except for JV. He was 2-4. Cool, Cal. I don't know, man. You had an off week, brother. You didn't win not 1 game.
Sugar
Ooh.
Time out. I did win 1 game.
Which one?
I won the Iowa State.
Now I like the donut better.
Hold on. I got everything.
I'm gonna get me 1 game now. I won the Iowa State.
Donut.
No.
Cal.
I got my sheet right here.
Cal.
I was 1-5. I admit it.
What was the score? Like you picked Iowa State minus the 7. Okie State covered that.
Exactly.
Yes, you did. I got it right here too.
Damn, you right, brother. You right. I stand corrected.
You was the only person. You was the only person that picked Iowa State.
Cal, get your paperwork out.
So with that said, the new leader in the clubhouse is Thad. He's 23-18 on the season.
Let's go.
Me, Cal, and E Rob are second with 22-19. So we 1 game behind.
Okay.
And then C Rob is next in line with 21-20. And then CA is 20-21. And JV is the new trailer in the basement. He's 19-22.
Hey man, I don't deal with no average folks, man. Y'all gotta be above 500 for me to deal with y'all, man.
All right,
y'all average folks.
On to the game, the picks for this week. Anybody got it right in front of them? Or I can pull them up if not.
I got it. All right, guys. I got them right here.
Go
All
ahead.
right, so we got game 1. Ooh, it's a big game, baby. Michigan at Michigan State. Michigan State is +4.
4.5.
Or 4.5.
4.5. I'm sorry.
I got you. That is ESPN game day. It's at Michigan State. It's at 12 o'clock noon because that's
And E-Raw, I think you had that backward. Michigan State is +4. Michigan -4.5.
Yeah, I said Michigan State.
He said Michigan
Yep.
State. He said Michigan State +4. So Michigan State is getting 4.5 points. They're playing at home. They're playing. It's at noon. It's ESPN game day. I'm gonna go with Michigan State because I like Mel Tucker, even though it's against everything I know with the 12 o'clock games that don't favor the home team. I'm hoping ESPN can get them hyped up at home. So what you going with, Cool Cal?
I'm with you. I'm going with Michigan State as well. I think they knock off Harbaugh this week.
Ooh, okay.
The Khakis.
CA, what you going with, though?
Stepping outside of the box, man. I'm going with them Khakis this week. I think Michigan's going to go ahead and crash this party. They're going to go ahead and send this man down to LSU the right way. Get out of there.
Oh.
Dad, what you doing, Dad?
Well, you know, Ryan is high off of third place, you know what I mean? I'm going to roll with Michigan -4.5, you know what I mean? Because it might be the only week I get to do, you know what I
mean? All right, E-Rob, who you going with, man?
Man, I'm going with them fighting Mel Tuckers, baby. Okay. Michigan State at home.
All right. What's our next game, E-Rob?
All right, so the next game, game 2, we're going to take the trip all the way down to Texas. We got Texas at Baylor. Baylor is -3.
What you going with, Dad? What you going with since you riding that high in first place?
I'm going with the home team -3.
All right. Cool, Cal.
With that on that, I'm going with the home team as well with the -3.
All right.
Get on the train, boy.
E-Rob, who you going with?
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna go with Baylor -3.
Choo.
CA, what you doing? You think Sarkisian got something for him or what?
I think that running back gonna win the game for Texas. I'm gonna ride Bijan. I think I got Texas in the upset, but I need them points. Give me them 3.
Yeah,
I think he the best back in the country too.
I do too, and I'm gonna roll with you, C. I'm gonna roll with my dog, CA. I'm gonna go with Texas and Sarkisian to get it done, man.
+3. Don't forget that.
Hey, get it done. When I say get it done, me cover that 3. They can lose by 1 for all.
What I want.
What you got, E-Rob? What's the next game for us?
Cal, did you pick? You made your pick?
Yeah, I picked Baylor.
Yeah. He picked Baylor.
All right, so now we're gonna go from Texas. Now we're going up to Big Ten country. Ooh, this is a big game, big spread. Penn State at Ohio State. Ohio State is -18.5.
God.
18.5 now. Okay.
This might be the best game Stat Dog pulled out.
It's hard though. It's like 18, a lot
That's
of
what I'm
points.
saying.
It's a big number, right?
It's a big number,
right?
but Penn State quarterback ain't even 100%.
He wasn't 100% when he was 100%.
but
Great point.
Ohio State defense ain't really been stopping nobody.
Coach, pull the trigger.
Yeah, go ahead, college. Talk yourself into it, then, Coach.
Hey, man. I'll tell you what, Ryan Day better not let me down, man. I'm gonna go with the Buckeyes, man. He better score some points like I know he can score some points this weekend. I'm gonna go with Ohio State now. Who you going with, Cool Cal?
Man, that 18 a big number, but I'm with you, Coach, man. The Vegas is something funny about that. I think they think Ohio State's going to roll in this game. I just seen Penn State play last week. They had 57 possessions and scored 18 points. So they can't score any points, man. Give me Ohio State, man.
All right, CA, who you going with, dog?
I'm looking for magic in a hat, baby. I need Penn State to be, 2 touchdowns at the most. Give me them 18.5. I'm going into Columbus for the upset.
Okay. All right. What you got, E-Rob?
Yeah, that's a big number. So I'm gonna take Penn State in an ugly game just to keep it kind of close.
All right.
That's all.
All
Run the
right.
ball.
All right, Thad, riding that high in first place. What you got, man? Mr. I know how to pick them.
Hey, like I said, man, I think it was really, as an overall, I think it was probably the best games, some tough games to pick. So I like these picks. But I'm going to roll with the latter two. I think I like Ohio State to win, but not to cover. So I'm rolling with Penn State, and I'm going to take them 18.5.
Ooh. Ohio State. What's next on the docket for us, E-Rob?
All right, so we're going to go from the Big Ten. Now we're going to take a trip down to the ACC. We got the Louisville at NC State and -7. NC State is -7.
Who you got, Thad?
It's an interesting
I got
game.
NC State -7. These some good games, man. Tough.
Yeah. Bro, this right here, I feel like this was just as tough as the Penn State because NC State just they beat everywhere. Louisville beat everywhere. But Louisville defense does rank last in the ACC, so I'm going to go with NC State with that. Who you got, Cool Cal?
I'm with you. That was a good stat you just pulled out. But you know what? NC State, they proved to me last week, man, they're a fraud. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't go down there and handle Miami. I'm going with Louisville in the outright upset in this game.
All right. And on that note, shout out to CA for being the only person that got the NC State Miami game last week. Everybody else went with NC State,
Okay.
and CA went with Miami. Who you going with this week?
We
CA?
dragged Miami too.
We did.
I'm gonna flip it this week. I think NC State's a better team at home for me this week. I just don't have a whole lot of faith in Louisville.
All right, E-Rob, who you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna take NC State at home. I think that they're gonna bounce back and thump Louisville pretty good.
All right. What's the last game before the HBCU games?
All right, so now we're gonna leave the ACC, make a little drive south down to the SEC. We got Ole Miss at Auburn, and now this is an interesting spread to me.
Bro.
Auburn is -2.5. Now we know Ole Miss got this crazy offense, right? So what is Vegas?
They got the number one offense in the league.
They got the number one offense in the league, but I think they got the outside of Vandy. Vandy might be better. I know they got like one of the worst rushing defenses, and they counting on Tank to finally have a bounce back game. So, like Thad said, man, like C-Rob did his thing on these picks these week, man. This rough.
Great pick game.
This rough right here.
Good game, man.
I'm gonna go.
Pull the trigger, coach.
This is tough here, man.
Both.
Pull the trigger, man.
I wanted Tank Bigsby coming out of high school, man. I'm gonna go with Auburn. I'm gonna say Tank Bigsby finally gonna have that breakout game against that porous defense over there at Ole Miss, man. That's what I'm going with Auburn and to cover that 2.5. Who you going with, CA?
When in doubt, go with the quarterback. Ole Miss got one. Auburn don't.
That boy knows something, man. I always go to bed quarterback.
All right, Dad, you going with Ole Miss too?
Man, I'm rolling with Lane Train, baby.
All right, Cal.
That's a good one. Man, it's a tough one. You know, I'm gonna go with Auburn this week. I just don't buy Ole Miss on the road. Teams like that, they generally, when they don't have good defenses, it's worse on the road. I think that Auburn atmosphere is going to be electric. I'm looking for Auburn to pull off the upset.
All right, it's 2 for Auburn and 2 for Ole Miss. E-Rob, break the tie.
Let me go ahead and break this. I'm looking for Bo Nix to finally have one of those games that they keep telling me he gonna have. So I'm looking forward to it happen this week against a terrible Ole Miss defense. If you can't do it against this defense, stop talking to me about Bo Nix. Let's go, Auburn.
All right. And the HBCU game of the week.
All right. So let me see here. All right. So we got Arkansas Pine Bluff at Texas Southern. I know nothing about either one of these teams. I don't know their record, so I can't give you any insight.
Before y'all make y'all picks, Arkansas Pine Bluff is 1-5, and Texas Southern is 2-4, and they've lost to pretty much the same teams. So
There you go.
I don't think that help y'all out any, but I just like to let y'all know that. I'm going with Texas Southern because they at home. So
I saw that a mile away.
yeah,
Let me go ahead and go with Pine Bluff. Give me Arkansas.
All right.
Who
Who you got, Cal?
I'm going with Michigan State. Oh, hold on. Wrong game. My bad. Hold on. Nah, give me Arkansas Pine Bluff. I don't know why, but I'll take them.
All right. Dan, who you going with, though?
I just got the facts in from my R&D team. They told me to go with Texas Southern.
All right. Now, I know you got a process, E-Rob. Who you going with?
Yeah, so the process don't work in this particular game. So I ain't got no prospects in either one of these schools. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm keep it real with you, but this a coin flip. Texas Southern. I'm gonna go with Texas Southern. I would have liked to have visited their campus a little bit, but I ain't know that. Anyway, move on.
All right, and to our guys, Stat Dog C, who's probably gonna be watching this when they come out. Hey man, give us some HBCUs that's actually got winning records. Okay, like give us. It's hard to pick.
Stat Dog.
It's hard to pick from the guys that don't win no games, man. All right, with that said, man, anybody else got anything before we wrap this thing up?
Guys, we the number one team in the nation. On Saturday, we're gonna look like the number one team in the nation. E-Rob out.
Hey, sound like a good ending to the show to me. For everybody out there in YouTube land, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Put your score predictions down low so we can see what you're thinking about the cocktail party this weekend. For my boy Thad, leader in the clubhouse on the picks. E-Rob, Cool Cal, CA, our homies missing action, Stat Dog C, and JV celebrating his birthday. I'm Coach I. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.